I was going to do this off camera, but I decided, fuck that. I get a free episode easily. Right now, just thinking, we need blocks for sure. Last time we didn't have blocks and we had to mine for like 5 years.
Fight videos are an undeniable staple of viral internet stuff. Bum fights, World Star, Twitter clip accounts. They've just got this universal primal appeal that, you know, all the big-brained individuals want to act like they're above looking at this sort of thing, but I mean, somebody's looking at it. And one of the biggest subgenres of internet viral fight videos is the story of the man who had just had enough. A rowdy woman hits him one too many times and he just snaps and goes full equal rights, equal lefts. There's many such tales, but one of the most legendary comes not from World Star, not for some terrible vertical video, but from mainstream Indian television. A clip that gave birth to the famous line, "How can you snap? How can you snap? How can she snap?" But there's a lot more to this story than you probably know about, so today I want to take a look at the legend of How Can She Slap? Hello?
Hey, it's Steve.
Steve who?
Steve Shadow Legends, creator of Raid Shadow Legends.
All while enduring tons of verbal abuse from the hosts. During its first season, subtitled Beat the Bullies, contestants had to compete in a number of challenges enforced by the aforementioned bullies. There was Vishal, the Beast. He had the contestants test their might by enduring physical challenges. Then there was Sherman, the Mindstein, and I have no idea what a Mindstein is supposed to mean, but it seems like it's a smart kind of thing. Like you have a good mind, but also you're Einstein. And it makes sense because his part of the show was about having contestants test their wits by answering questions. And then there was Esha the Goddess, who you probably recognize because it was she who slapped. Her whole bit was making the contestants perform mentally taxing and sometimes gross challenges. Losers would then be subjected to gross concoctions by a highly flamboyant chef named Juicy.
Magical power!
The infamous How Can I Slap clip happened during a season 1 episode and involved a contestant named Ravi Bhatia. Anyway, let's take a look at it.
Are you sure? क्योंकि ऐसा लगता है ये लोग bad hairdo convention के लिए आए हैं. What the f*** is it with this stupid sideburns of yours? Are you in some sort of a time capsule? 60s में पहुंच गए हो? What is it with those faces? What are you doing?
For something that prided itself in being television's meanest game show, these are some pretty weak-ass insults. She would have been better off pulling out something about the jerk store. I mean, granted, it was 2008, it was a different time, Mark Zuckerberg hadn't yet started rocking his turf bangs, so, you know, maybe the bar for what constituted as a haircut so bad that it belongs at the bad haircut convention was simply a lower bar. But either way, both of the fellows were staying pretty quiet and really no-selling these insults. But then Ravi, that cheeky fuck, look at that mischievous, cherubic smile. He just couldn't keep his mouth shut.
Actually, the thing is that we don't want to talk with you, actually.
Why don't you go and off then?
You go.
And there it was, the most consequential no you in all of recorded history.
How can you slap? How can you slap? How can she slap? How can she slap me? How can you slap me? Okay. Bastard. Bloody bastard. How did you slap? You bastard. How did you like that? I'll fuck you right now. You fucking bastard. I'll fucking kill bastard. How did you get? Mother chick,
Who would have ever thought that a show whose entire premise was about bullying, a show that prided itself on being the meanest game show on TV, would escalate into an all-out brawl? I definitely didn't see that coming. And a lot of you are probably thinking, I know I thought this back when I originally saw it, that this was all just a scheme to promote the show, right? It's very on brand. No, actually. This was actually kept under wraps and not supposed to be seen by anybody that wasn't there that day. This recording would remain tucked away in the archives until 4 months later, September 2008, when a member of the crew leaked it. From there, it would make it to TMZ and go viral all over the Western world. Uploads of the clip would get millions of views and tons of remixes and YTMNDs were made at the time because that's just what people did in 2008. And this was great news for Robbie, who was still recovering from the severe ass beating that brought him to tears. After the How Can She Slap clip went viral, he spoke to the Times of India. 19-year-old Ravi Bhatia is all over news channels past few days. This small-town boy has dashed off a legal notice to the makers of Dadagiri. He's upset with what happened on the reality show. Reality shows may have their fixed scripts and sensational turn of events, but Ravi is in no mood to take things lying down. This incident occurred 4 months ago. The participants of the show had to pass through the litmus test of abuses and spats, and it was all scripted. We were all given our parts where 70% was to be said as is, and 30% would be improvisation, says Ravi. There is this girl called Isha opposite me who was supposed to abuse me and I was to retaliate, but calmly. In other words, there is no mention of any kind of physical contact in this thing, so when he said, how can she slap, he literally meant, how is she allowed to slap? This wasn't a part of the deal. After a while, when it came to improvisations, I presumed she was out of words and came and slapped me hard. I was shocked, and in the heat of the moment, I slapped her back. That led to the entire unit of about 70 people jumping on me, beating me black and blue. It was a miracle in itself that I managed to escape from there, he says. So how did this incident get flashed in the media now? Luckily for me, somehow the tapes got leaked out and they were being shown on all the channels. I got myself a copy from one of the news channels and was happy that finally I acquired the proof to support me. And this time I will not be quiet. Just because they have power, it doesn't give them the license to pull down people. I have sent a legal notice to the producers and asked for an apology publicly for defamation.
Whether you're curling or crunching, running or riding.
And although I haven't been able to find 100% confirmation of this, it is widely reported that they settled out of court in Ravi's favor. But what happened after all this? This is Ravi Bhatia now. These days, he is a successful TV actor with a number of roles under his belt, most famously Salim in the historical drama Jodha Akbar, which I almost definitely just mispronounced. At this point, the whole how can she slap thing is just a minor footnote in a much larger career, kind of like pointing to Aaron Paul's appearance on The Price is Right. As for the show itself, Dadagiri wound up being a huge success, one of the highest rated shows of its time. It lasted for 4 seasons and most of the cast would reprise their roles. However, Esha was replaced. And that's the story of How Can She Slap. Honestly, I kinda wish American TV was a little bit meaner. I would fuck with that. Anyway, if you like this video, I recommend looking at Wavy Webster's video on another viral video, Don't Tase Me Bro. Peace out.
Let's buy some more ender pearls.
Life. I couldn't fucking breathe. My lungs simply refused to pull any more of that stuff in. The anesthesiologist went down next. An ex-NCAA D1 tailback, his 6'2" frame shaking as he threw open the door to the OR suite in an attempt to get more air in, letting me glimpse the second nurse still throwing up in the sinks outside the door. Another geyser of pus splashed across the front of the surgeon. The YouTube clip of David at the dentist keeps playing in my head. Is this real life? In all operating rooms, everywhere in the world, regardless of socialized or privatized, secular or religious, big or small, there is one thing the same. Somewhere, there is a bottle of peppermint concentrate. Everyone in the department knows where it is. Everyone knows what it is for, and everyone prays to their gods that they never have to use it. In times like this, we rub it on the inside of our masks to keep the outside smells at bay long enough to finish the procedure and shower off. I sprinted to our central supply, ripping open the drawer where this vial of ambrosio is kept. I was greeted by an empty fucking box. The bottle had been emptied and not replaced. Somewhere out there was a godless bastard who had used the last of the peppermint oil and not replaced a single fucking drop of it. To this day, if I figure out who it was, I'll kill them with my bare hands, but not before cramming their head up the colon of every last meth user I can find, just so we're even. I darted back into the room with the next best thing I could find, a vial of mastitol, which is an adhesive rub we use sometimes for bandaging. It's not as good as peppermint, but considering that over 1/3 of the floor was now thoroughly coated in what could easily be mistaken for a combination of bovine afterbirth and maple syrup, we were out of options. I started rubbing as much of the mastitol as I could get on the inside of my mask, just glad to be spelling anything except whatever slimy demon spawn we just cut out of this woman. The anesthesiologist grabbed the vial next, dousing the front of his mask in it, so we could stand next to his machines long enough to make sure this woman didn't die on the table. It wasn't until later that we realized that mastitol can give you a mild high from huffing it like this. But in retrospect, that's probably what got us through. By this time, the smell had permeated out of our OR suite and down the 40-foot hallway to the front desk, where the other nurse still sat, eyes bloodshot and watery, clenching her stomach desperately. Our suite looked like the underground river of ooze from Ghostbusters 2, except dirty. Oh, so dirty. I stepped back into the OR suite, not wanting to leave the surgeon by himself in case he genuinely needed help. It was like one of those overly artistic representations of a zombie apocalypse you see on fan forums. Here's this one guy in blue surgical garb standing nearly ankle deep in lumps of dead tissue, fecal matter, and several liters of syrupy infection. He was performing surgery in the swamps of Dagobah. Except the swamps had just come out of this woman's ass, and there was no Yoda. He and I didn't say a word for the next 10 minutes as he scraped the inside of the abscess until all the dead tissue was out. The front of his gown was a gruesome mixture of brown and red. His eyes squinted against the staining vapors originating directly in front of him. I finished my required paperwork as quickly as I could, helping him stuff the recently vacated opening full of gauze, taped this woman's buttocks closed, and hauled the dressing for as long as possible, woke her up, and immediately shipped off to the recovery ward. Until then, I'd only heard of alcohol showers. It turns out, 70% isopropyl alcohol is about the only thing that can even touch a scent like that once it's soaked into your skin. It takes 4 or 5 bottles to really get clean, but it's worth it. It's probably the only scenario I can honestly endorse drinking a little of it too. As we left the locker room, the surgeon and I looked at each other, and he said the only negative sentence I heard him utter in 2.5 years of working together. That was bad. The next morning, the entire department, a fairly large floor within the hospital, still smelled. The housekeepers told me later that it took them nearly an hour to suction up all the food and debris left behind. The OR suite itself was closed off and quarantined for 2 more days, just to let the smell finally clear out. I laugh now when I hear new recruits to healthcare talk about the worst thing they've seen. You ain't seen shit, kid. TLDR, don't shoot IV drugs into your taint. That deserves an upvote, and you deserve a freaking Medal of Honor. Isn't it weird that your story makes me want to be a doctor even more? Yeah, it kind of is. Clearly, after reading the story, the majority of Redditors were floored by it, not just for what it contained, but for how it was told. So the next thing Reddit does, of course, is ask for shitty watercolor to paint it. Shitty watercolor responds with an IOU. Regrettably, Mr. Shitty is currently unable to paint rectal explosions as he is painting a series of watercolors to mark the final descent of curiosity. Yours sincerely, Mr. Shitty. You see, while all of Reddit was enthralled by this tale of an infected exploding asshole, the Mars rover Curiosity was making its final descent back to Earth. How fucking serendipitous is it that this video that starts with a Star Wars reference somehow manages to circle back to actual real-life space travel? In any case, Shitty Watercolor would make good on this drawing 2 years later, receiving Bonsai Panda's seal of approval. Speaking of Bonsai I panned the Star Wars reference, Redditors also took this opportunity to try and come up with a name for this story. They recognized that this one would also be remembered among stories like the Jolly Rancher story, so they had to come up with a name for it where you just say it, then you know what it is automatically. And actually, of all suggestions, Swamps of Dagobah wasn't one of them, the closest being the Dagobah story. But some honorable mentions include Maple Syrup River, the Asplosion, and Zombie Butt Geyser. But throughout the rest of the thread, without anybody saying that this is what we were going to call the story, people just seemed to latch on to that one phrase, Swamps of Dagobah, because really it's just such a solid pull for what this is. They recognize that you could just say Swamps of Dagobah, and anyone who's familiar with...
Hey, I'm Paul Scardino, 2021 Guinness World Records holder for the largest Funko Pop collection with close to 6,000.
One day, a young Redditor found himself the victim of a horrible accident. An accident that rendered him Keep watching this, and if you do keep watching it, don't say I didn't warn you.
Right.
It begins on December 22nd of 2011 with a post by a Redditor named The Verified Son entitled, I am a man who had a sexual relationship with his mother, probably at SFW. When I was in my teens, I had a sexual relationship with my mother. I think that we would both characterize the experience as positive. Please feel free to ask anything, but I will not discuss anything that would reveal my identity. Recently, my mom and I spoke with a researcher that is studying examples of incest that were not traumatic. He is preparing a paper on the subject. I am not an advocate for incest. For whatever reason, it worked for us. Don't use my experience as a template. I am here to relate my experience, not debate incest as a subject. So I really hope I don't need to say this, but as the poster said, do not use his experience as a template. And of course, Reddit is famous for people just, coming in and telling tall tales that are just totally made up. So you would need some kind of proof for this, and according to a mod, he verified it. Which leads to the question, how does one verify such a thing? Verification took about a month of going back and forth with a researcher that verified both my mom's and my identity for his research. He reached out to the mods and verified with them. It was also verified that he is who he says he is, and that his field of practice is child psychology and sexual research. So this whole AMA had actually been in the work for a month, not to mention all the time that this Redditor and his mom spent with the researcher. And according to the mod, the most difficult part of the process was simply getting the researcher to understand what Reddit actually is. Obviously, the thread begins with a whole bunch of people joking about it. Did she ever ask you while you were doing it? Remember when I could fit all of you inside me? This comment has made me laugh hardest so far. I'm reading this at work and trying to stifle my laughing. Hey, what's so funny? Oh, nothing, just reading about this dude who was fucking his mom. Do you smile every time someone calls you a motherfucker? Did you get confused when your dad asked you to seed the lawn during the summer? They also asked him to clarify that he wasn't adopted or, a stepson or anything like that. Nope, biological. So the obvious question, how does one wind up in this situation? It started with her masturbating me, progressed to her giving me oral, and eventually we had sex/made love. It was a slow progression. This was not a satisfactory answer for Reddit. I mean, this is not something that simply starts happening and slowly starts progressing. One thing does not lead to another here. So it gives some more details, and this post right here is where the story gets its name. Well, without giving away too info, I was injured in an accident at 14 and incapacitated. I went from masturbating 2 times a day to 0. After 2 weeks, I was frustrated and took it out on my parents. My mom and dad knew what was up and talked about my mom helping me masturbate. They approached me one afternoon, and when my mom said, I know you are frustrated, and why you are frustrated, would you like some help masturbating? Blood was rushing in my ears, and I said yes, but I really didn't know if she meant what I thought she meant. I was excited and confused. She said that she would take care of me when I went to bed, hours away. Now, right off the bat, my thought, and probably your thought too, is that this mother belongs in jail. Both parents, really, because don't forget that the dad co-signed it. It's pretty cut and dry abuse, not just because of the age, but the power dynamic, and also the fact that incest itself is illegal in most jurisdictions. Like, there's several different crimes going on here. And as a lot of people on the thread pointed out, everyone's kind of like joking around about this, but if the genders were switched, if this was a father and a daughter, people would have a much different tone in approaching this. Like, this is why I kept on trashing this video, because people would ask me to cover this haha funny Reddit story, and I remembered it that way, and then I go back and look at it, and I'm like, oh, this is a lot darker than I remember. But still, what's done is done. OP is a lot older now. He's working with actual professionals, and he's just here to tell us about what happened. So he describes this interaction at first of being clinical in nature. Like, I'm just here performing this procedure for you for the sake of your mental health. Which, you know, is still not good, but it sounds less not good. And there is at least one guy on Reddit who is just fascinated by the description of this as clinical. Mr. Ogloblo. I read through your comments and I'm interested in how clinical she was initially in her handjobs. If I, for whatever reason, had to masturbate a male friend or family member of mine, I would try to make my technique as uniform and devoid of personality as possible. This is kind of dumb, but my own personal fantasy surrounding your situation is me wearing pajama pants or sweats, getting a large and obvious erect. Alright, we get the idea. You don't need to hear this guy's entire fantasy that he wrote out. I mean, this guy wrote a whole essay asking questions about the various amounts of personality she put into different things, the varying speeds and stuff like that. And side note, apparently this guy seemed to have like some kind of reputation for this, because the top comment is, I just knew you would eventually show up. Actually, wait, I can't go on with this video without looking into some of this guy's greatest hits.
Setting up Simply Safe is so easy. You could do it blindfolded.
In a thread about Bugs Bunny chewing a carrot, I've been trying to find a clip of a cute naked lady making the same nonchalant pose while chewing carrots while going, "What's up, Doc?" Had a fantasy of getting randomly abducted by some guys in a van, and I'm terrified. My eyes are darting around the room, and I see a CIA-looking guy pull out a needle and inject me, and I black out and wake up in a ditch near my house with 2 DVDs in my hand. Could be hot if one of those cute female hipsters YouTube comedy duos used that footage to make an Animorphs parody with cheesy effects to turn them into koalas. This guy's account's deleted, but I might have to revisit him for another video in the future. What's less amusing, though, is how Verified Son described the escalation of things. Well, the first time we had intercourse, I was lying in bed getting oral from her. In the middle of it, she stopped, climbed up on my body, pulled her panties aside, and sat on me. She was wearing a long t-shirt. She told me not to come, and she rode me for about a minute and came. She then finished me with her mouth. My head was spinning. Sometimes it was discussed at the table, but not with my dad around. I would never tell anyone I know. With the revelation that oral was involved, Reddit lined up to ask the burning question: did she swallow? And the answer was, yeah. And as one Redditor, Al Gore Vidal Sassoon, that's a hell of a name, pointed out, the thing that keeps people from doing incest normally is that we naturally just find the whole thing repulsive on a mental and physical level. And another user added that there's an evolutionary characteristic of our sense that makes people who are closely related to us just naturally unappealing in a sexual way. Verified Son responded by saying that he always found her attractive, even before this. Then someone asked if he was ever attracted to his sister, and he said yes, but not overly. And to that I have to wonder, say hypothetically, this woman one day puts these pieces together and figures out that this is her brother. Does she open up the thread, see that question, and think, what the fuck do you mean, not overly? And with the sister in the picture, people were curious about whether she ever came close to finding out. He said that there were no close calls, and the sister had left for college shortly after this began, making it easier for them to do all this. And a lot of people suggested that perhaps his father and his sister also had some kind of arrangement like this going on, but this is something that he flatly denied. In his words, they weren't wired that way.
I get a good feeling from
But the dad is a whole different kind of weirdo for being aware of this and signing off on it. In fact, in an edit to his original post, he mentions that his mother said that his dad had gotten kind of jealous about this. Which, I mean, you could have said, no, don't do it. There's also questions about girlfriends. Had you already lost your virginity, or was your mother your first? I lost my handjob/blowjob virginity to my mom, but intercourse was with the GF.
Bullshit!
You liar! You cheated on your GF with your mom. Is there something else? Please, Sarah, you know the only two women in my life are you and my mom. So where are we at with this situation now? Do you still continue this sexual relationship today? No, it ended after I left for college. It just started to slow down and then eventually stopped. There wasn't any event that ended it. I have talked to my mother and father about it over the years. The subject is not off limits. I don't think that either of us wishes it to start up again. Long-distance relationships can be tough. Now, in his original post, he also mentioned that he would update the thread with the research paper when it finally got published. To my knowledge, though, he never followed up by posting the research paper. Maybe there was something identifiable in it, although I don't know why they would have published that. The video where a guy cuts his wiener off and removes his balls with a knife and hatchet is one of the most requested videos for me to cover. The BME Pain Olympics. Some say it's fake, some say it's real, and the guy died. And all this confusion is understandable, because you see, there's actually several things that have been called the BME Pain Olympics throughout the years. And because there's so many different stories and videos with different happenings, the truth about them has gotten pretty murky over the years. So for today's episode of Tales from the Internet, let's take a closer look at this CBT legend. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legend. Gonna have early on in the game. Sense that he just really embodied this spirit of the early internet, a guy that's just gonna do whatever the fuck he feels like, censorship be damned. So Shannon developed an interest in body mods from a very young age. In an interview, he noted that this might have been influenced by his fascination with stories he heard from his neighbor growing up, who was a Blackfoot native. And as he's growing up, he teaches himself how to program, and by the age of 16, he's already working as a professional programmer. And while he's developing software for gambling websites and psychic hotlines, he's working on his passion project on the side, BME. And after he launches the site, he quickly dives in headfirst and makes it his full-time focus. As he put it in an interview with a college student that he shared on his blog, "I'd rather fail chasing my dreams than succeed as a slave." But he didn't fail. In fact, BME became massively successful, much more successful than he had ever considered, becoming the online source for all things tattoos, piercings, and body mods. And some of the things featured on the site were very extreme mods that most people would never consider doing, but were interesting to look at and read about nonetheless. But like a lot of boundary pushing websites at the time, and you're probably expecting this if you've seen my channel before, but he got in a little bit of trouble with the law because of the website. There's a few cases of this, but to me the most interesting one is what happened in Germany. Germany goes on this spree where they're banning edgy websites because, think of the children. BME is one of the websites, and he gets a notification that, hey, if you want your website to be viewed in Germany, you gotta make some changes. But of course, Shannon said, fuck that, didn't change anything about his website, didn't censor anything. And went as far as to print the t-shirt to antagonize the German authorities, egging people on to wear it, which was technically illegal because it showed the website URL. And although many, probably most viewers of BME just kind of passed through to view the content and read the stories, there were those who stuck around, and a very strong sense of community began to form. As this tight-knit community grows, BME starts to have meetups, barbecues, and eventually a large annual event called BME Fest. And in 2002, at one of these barbecues, a new tradition began, the BME Pain Olympics. But this event I'm talking about in 2002 probably isn't what you're thinking about. Some of the games at this inaugural BME Pain Olympics included drinking hot sauce, carrying weight while suspended. And while these things can be painful and challenging, I'm sure they're a far cry from the images that came to your head when I said BME Pain Olympics. And some images from other Pain Olympics events are still viewable
Why did you
on the
walk
BME
into it, you
website.
idiot?
And they show stuff like needles being placed through the skin with sterile gloved hands. Once again, kinda rough. I probably wouldn't do it, but a far cry from what you think when you hear BME Pain Olympics. I mean, you definitely don't think of anything sterile at all. But you know what? Some of you might actually not have any idea what the fuck I'm talking about when I'm referencing all this, so allow me to describe the BME Pain Olympics video that everyone's thinking of. So when the video starts, the song Livin' Like a Zombie by the metal band Mortification plays as we're introduced to the first challenger, who's smacking a knife against his penis that's placed on a cutting board. Contestant 2 comes in and he's tying his balls up with a string. Contestant 1's back and now he's tying his whole penis up with a string, and he places it back on the cutting board. Back to entrant 2, who's chopping away at his balls with a little hand axe now, while entrant 1 takes a knife to his dick and starts to slice it up. Entrant 2 keeps chopping away at his balls while entrant 1 sticks a knife in and individually pops out each testicle one by one. I said one by one like there's a whole bunch of them, but you know, there's just 2. And that's where the video ends, and it never tells us who won. Although, speaking logically, the guy who cut his dick and balls off would have to win over the guy who just cut his balls off, right? It's unclear when this video was actually made, and several sources, like IMDb.com, say that it was made in 2002. But it can't possibly have been made in 2002 because the song that plays during it wasn't released until 2004. What I think happened here is that people read about the BME Pain Olympics happening at the barbecue, so they thought it was those BME Pain Olympics, and not, you know, the hot sauce drinking and suspension. And going by Google Trends and the dates on the massive amount of YouTube reaction videos, this video seems to have been made, or at the very least first made its way around the internet in 2007. And of course there were a shit ton of reaction videos done to this. I mean, we were only a few months removed from Two Girls, One Cup, so of course everyone's gonna come in for part 2. At this point you even had people like a pre-JRE Joe Rogan going in and making videos about it. And this legitimately was a rough video to watch. I mean, even looking back at it several times for making this video, I was kind of like, So when I would hear people saying that this thing was fake, I was like, there's no way. And here's where it gets a little confusing for a bit, because here's where you start seeing different people saying different things. Something that I saw come up a few times was that the BME Pain Olympics was done with hot dogs, and I'm like, no. Definitely not. But the reason some people think it was done with hot dogs is because there was a video and a Pain Olympics site that showed some guy sticking a hot dog through his fly and cutting it up and mangling it in all different ways. And the video was so low quality and so dark that at first you kind of can't tell that it's an Oscar Mayer wiener. And knowing that this was making its way around, I thought perhaps people thinking this Pain Olympics video was fake was just a case of people mixing up 2 different videos. But I'll give the final word on this to Shannon himself, who made an appearance in a Reddit thread in 2012 when someone made a post asking for an AMA of a Pain Olympics participant. I'm the person who created this video, as well as all the BME series videos. Yes, the one called BME Pain Olympics is faked footage, and I would have thought that was obvious to anyone looking at it, but I guess not everyone has the encyclopedic knowledge of what it looks like when you chop up someone's genitals that I have. However, the various BME torture trailers and related videos are completely real and contain arguably more extreme footage. And reading this, I was a little taken aback because, you know, even if this was faked somehow, to me it looked so real. Like, how could this be obviously fake, you know? So, of course, I went back and I watched the video several times. And each time with this knowledge in mind, it started to look a little bit more fake. I think part of the effect is that when you see something like this, your eyes are just trying to not focus so intently on it. But when you give it a close look, you notice things like, oh, there's like not really as much blood as you would expect here. And granted, sometimes gore in real life just doesn't look the way you would think. But on closer inspection, I think the dead giveaway is how the penis moves while it's being cut. It just doesn't seem to have the right density. He's cutting it in such a way that it should flop a little, but the penis doesn't flop. Once you take note of how it moves, it almost starts to resemble a lump of Play-Doh, and I imagine that if this thing was shot in 1080p, it would be way more obvious, as Shannon said. The theory had also been presented on the now-deleted Pain Olympics Wikipedia entry that this was made of some real footage. The real footage belonging to BME users Revly and Kokomi 3K. I couldn't see Kokomi's content, but there was a picture of Revly tying his balls up and shoving a nail through his testicles.
We can probably get that all sorted out.
Becomes synonymous with CBT, so it makes sense. In fact, it's said that at the end of this video, there was originally a notice that it was all fake, and it was part of BME's April Fool's tradition. Every year they would post some kind of fake article, including things like a couple from the community who bit each other's fingers off as a show of dedication, a UFO cult that built a new species of human, a guy who got plastic surgery to look like an alien, and one that I actually remember from back in the day about a pair of twins who got their body parts transplanted onto each other. That being said, in this post, Shannon also made reference to BME torture trailers, which he said were real. And in fact, you can still find these trailers in the videos directory of his blog. Sometimes these videos would also make their way around to get labels like BME Pain Olympics for various years or various entry numbers. And the videos featured things like firecrackers in the urethra, batteries in the urethra, large vegetables shoved up the urethra. You get the gist of what these are like. And so all that being said, why the fuck would anybody do this? Shannon has an explanation. They're real-life Cenobites. They are explorers of nerve impulses. They are seeking the extremes of sensation, a far-out realm where pleasure and pain are all blurred. To simplify, they're doing it because they're getting off on it. There are other reasons too, but that's the main one, and the healthy ones. A year after he spoke to Reddit in 2013, Shannon would pass away. He took his own life after dealing with years of chronic, constant pain from a genetic muscular condition. After his death, a blog post he had prepared was published. In the blog post, he details how the little treatment he...
What? Something of mine? Like clothes? I don't know if it's something important or if like... Are you sure it's mine?
Yeah, you gotta go in one of yours.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Think so? Oh, we'll figure that out later. Okay, let's do this.
Did receive was ineffective. He struggled to get the pain management that he needed, and he felt that the reason was that because of his appearance, the doctors thought he was just looking for drugs. He also reflected on BME, the state of the body modification community at the time, and his hopes for it in the future. And he was sure to show appreciation for everything he accomplished and everyone who helped him along the way. He concluded by offering his ashes to friends who were aware of his situation and asked him previously about it, so that they can use them in art and their own personal body modification projects. He said that he loved the idea of living on in this way after his death. And really, he still lives on in so many other ways. It cannot be understated how influential he was in shaping the culture around us, creating a platform where millions of people learned about tattoos, piercings, and body mods. How it made so many people feel okay with it in a world where it wasn't as socially accepted as it is today. And how different the world looks because he was here. But anyway, that's all for now. If you like this video, you'll also enjoy my video on the Goatsy Man. I'm out of here.
This Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade is packed with lemonade flavor.
Honestly, it has more flavor than my grandma's lemonade. That's more flavor than my grandma's lemonade.
Oh, no. New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade.
Go to privacy.com/wang and get $5 free thanks to today's sponsor, privacy.com. There comes a time in every young boy's life when he gets to an age where he needs a little more personal space. He needs his mother to back off a little and give him some room to breathe. Well, I mean, most boys. Sometimes these mothers do give them the space they need. Other times they do everything they can to keep them as little boys forever. And how effective their chosen approach was or wasn't will be reflected in their future therapy bills. Well, one mother from the Netherlands came up with a way to cope with her son growing up that worked for both of them. My son doesn't want to cuddle anymore, so I knit a cuddly version of him. Yes, she made a replica of her son made completely out of yarn. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, I know the question that already popped into your head. Are there real human bones inside of it? The answer? Technically yes, but not in the way you think. So for this episode of Tales from the Internet, let's take a look at the lady who reinvented her son out of yarn.
I want to filter box, so we're gonna put some filter.
One morning, not too long ago, I woke up to see that my phone was getting blown up with messages and people tagging me on Twitter. They were showing me this post and telling me that I had to do a video about it. So I take a look, and this is what I see. No, this is not a picture of someone that's been horribly burned. This right here is a boy made of yarn. It was attached to a Facebook post that had been screenshotted and was making the rounds all over the place. A mom whose son is growing too old for cuddles has come up with a unique solution. When her son stopped wanting to cuddle, she knitted a life-sized version of him. Now, she can cuddle his yarn doppelganger as much as she likes. Now she wants to help other moms. She says, "We thought it would be a great idea for mothers with too much love for their children and need to cuddle, so they could knit their own cuddly pillow son." This was like a cross between that Sally Acorn doll that I had the whole video on, and those people that have those fake babies that they treat like real babies. Except, even kind of weirder because it's based on a real person, her son. It stands to reason that her young son still lives at home, right? Can you imagine, you come home from school, you go sit down at the dinner table, and sitting right across from you, staring you in the eye, is you, but made out of yarn. All because you're not giving your mother the attention she wants. It's like some kind of inverted Norman Bates situation. And despite the oddness of the facial features, it does seem to be really well constructed. I mean, look at the articulation in his hands as he eats his fries. The fries that are also made out of yarn. Tell me this, if a boy is made out of yarn, and he eats French fries that are also made out of yarn, does that make him a cannibal? Or is it like he exists as a part of this yarn dimension where every molecule is a piece of yarn? I'm just trying to get the yarn boy lore situated. There he is, picking his nose, digging for boogers that I can only imagine are made of green yarn. Riding his skateboard in his Punk's Not Dead sweater, no apostrophe, implying that there exists multiple punks just walking around like Lados. They're still alive. And this yarn construction is sturdy enough that it can hold a skateboard in his arm. And here he is with a real boy for scale. As soon as I saw these pictures and that post, I knew that there had to be more to this story.
And trust, music doesn't need cognac to exist. Cognac doesn't need music. But that's the beauty of it.
It begins on Instagram. The creator of the Yarn Boy, Mary Key Vorsluis, began posting the photos of her creation on Instagram on January 11th, 2016, to a wide variety of reactions. Some thought it was kind of creepy, some thought it was cute, others were simply marveling at the immense skill it had to have taken to make. So to explain this further, she writes in an article that she submits to boardpanda.com. "My son doesn't want to cuddle anymore, so I knit a cuddly version of him." It was from this post, based primarily on this headline, that this yarn creation would go viral and blow up all over the internet. Obviously, that explanation combined with those pictures is going to lead to some crazy stories in people's heads. Like, when you put it that way, it legitimately sounds like something out of a horror movie. But when you start to read the post, it actually makes a lot more sense. She begins by explaining that the inspiration for this piece came through her work. "I am a professional knitter who likes to knit cool things for my brand, Club Galuk. We knit realistic, everyday stuff with lots of details and even wrote a couple books about it. We knit hams, TVs, plants, all sorts of funny and unique design things. Let's take a look at some of these items. Club Galuk. We have things like a yarn lobster on a plate, a yarn cake, a yarn plate of spaghetti with shrimp. The level of detail on this is actually really impressive. Like, I had no idea you could do this kind of stuff with yarn. Look at the super elaborate paintings made out of yarn. Like, she took these and almost made it like a kind of pixel art. A yarn Jesus? Why do girls love Jesus? Because he's hung like this. Each bin kinky. The fuck is a good hand job? I mean, I know what a good hand job is, but I mean, what is the section a good hand job? And I can't show you what's here, but it's a lot of very highly detailed penises made out of yarn, in various shapes, sizes, and colors. Many of them mounted on a wooden plaque. Like, I'm going to put up a picture of that bass you hang up on the wall and it sings, except instead of the bass, picture a giant yarn cock. You know, the sea bass thing, it has a little voice box in it that makes it work. You could probably get one of the yarn cocks and put the voice box in the cock so that it's a singing mounted cock on the wall. There you go, free idea for a how-to channel. A yarn condom? I would not recommend using that. That's for display purposes only. There's also a whole bunch of yarn porn, like this cigar box where a naked guy, this is what it looks like. A naked guy is squatting over another naked guy, and I think he's peeing or about to pee on the other guy's face. It's a little vague. It's like a 16-bit game where the pixelation leaves a bit to your imagination. So at this point, I'm looking at this site that you guys know what I'm thinking. I need to buy something from this site. How about, since I made the Portal reference before, I buy the yarn cake? Actually, this is the perfect time to talk about today's sponsor, Privacy.com. Privacy.com is a service that allows you to make an unlimited amount of done it with her. And after seeing such mixed reactions from people they knew in real life, they decided to do the photo shoot. She goes into more detail in the blog post. It was a fun family art project. When it was finished, we thought it would be a great idea for mothers with too much love for their children and need to cuddle.
That is so poggers that I did not just fucking die.
My knitted son consists of a knitted head with a cap, hands with nails and watch, knitted trousers, a knitted sweater with an obstinate slogan, knitted sneakers, and knitted iPod. As for what's inside, well, actually, the knitting pattern's characteristics of both my sons. The other one had just grown so much during the process that the smaller one was only able to wear it when it was finished. So yeah, the reason why the yarn boy seems disturbingly realistic and seems to move in a very lifelike way isn't that there's a fully carved bone skeleton inside of it like Princess Sally. Rather, the skeleton inside belongs to her son, and the skeleton's still in him, because he's in the costume. Even with that explanation, though, some people were still creeped out. Lady, that's a little strange. Maybe you should talk to a shrink. What the heck? Why would someone do this to their child? What if their friends come over and see the thing sitting there staring at you? What are you supposed to do? Be like, oh, dude, that's super cool, I guess. And the people saying to stop judging her. I did read the article, and it's still weird to me. Just saying. Man, even Jared from Subway didn't do this. Although eventually the comments did fill with more people who were on her side. Good lord, you people are stupid. It's a joke. It's just for fun. It's creepy. The story largely went viral in other outlets and on social media without the context that A, it's just a costume, and B, not only is it her son wearing it, but he helped make it. This led to people thinking there's this creepy Dutch mom out there who replaced her son with some kind of yarn zombie. And some people, after finding this out and being weirded out by it, went and read the full story, and then they got even more weird about it, with a lot of people seemingly running with this narrative that she forced her sons to do it. This is fucking sick and weird. Your kids turn out demented because some of you have coping issues you need to get sorted before having them. FYI, it's not a stuffed yarn replica. She makes her other sons wear the yarn version of her eldest son to cuddle. I have to share it with more info. She makes a younger son pretend to be the older son in a yarn suit to cuddle the older son. Do y'all see the problem here? I don't know, maybe I'm the weird one here, but looking at the full context, I just don't think there's anything that wrong with this. It's a kid working on an art project with his mom, with every indication pointing to the fact that he wanted to do this. And I can't help but think that a lot of people who are like, oh, this is creepy and she has problems and whatnot, are probably the same people that go around like, oh, the kids be on their phones. They're playing too much Fortnite. So, let them do a family art project. In any case, with the narrative having gone wildly out of her hands, Mary Kay would eventually talk to Huffington Post's weird news department. They would write an article called, Woman Who Knitted Life-Size Version of Her Son Says You Don't Get the Joke. She really doesn't want to cuddle with it. In the article, she expresses her thoughts now after this whole thing went viral. Thing is, although this seems pretty straightforward, according to Vorsluis, she meant it as a sarcastic joke. If I knew so many people thought this was really about getting more cuddles by a lovesick mother by knitting my son, I would have posted something different, Vorsluis says. Somehow I can't help but think that she knew that the original title, My Son Doesn't Want to Cuddle Anymore, so I knit a cuddly version of him, paired with such striking, bizarre photos, was a recipe to go viral. But I guess she made the mistake of assuming that people would actually read the article she wrote and understand it. That's just not something you can take for granted online. I mean, realistically, there's probably people who just saw the thumbnail for this video, or they just watched the first minute of this video. And now they're telling all their friends, oh my god, this creepy lady made a Princess Sally bone skeleton out of her son. She made a bone skeleton boy out of real bones, and now I gotta
I'm not trying to transfer my life info into my PlayStation or into my phone. Leave me alone.
Other people are going to appreciate it for its artistic value. And on that note, while occasionally still making appearances on her Instagram, it has also been shown at the Frieze Museum in the Netherlands. So although a lot of people online didn't get the joke, I guess people in the legitimate art world did. But anyway, that's the story of the boy made out of yarn. If you like this video, check out my video about the haunted painting
Shut up.
Setting up Simply Safe Home Security was a piece of cake. No tools or wireless.
Folks here. Today is the 5th episode of season 2. I don't know if you guys remember the baby meme, but pretty much what is happening now is people are taking the baby meme and taking it and making it a bit more.
The baby.
People are pretty much messaging kids on Instagram as the baby and being like, oh, if you send me your credit card, I'll feed you on a trap. You might think right off the bat, who would fall for that? Like, not even a 7-year-old would fall for that. And so I decided to message one of these accounts and troll them a bit. Like, these scammers are getting so bad, dude. But yeah, before the video starts, go join my Discord server. That's how I found this guy. All my socials are in the description as well. And yeah, enjoy the video.
Let's go! Huh?
It's me, DaBaby. Send me your credit card information, and you'll be featured in my new song.
Yeah.
Here's a pic for proof.
Oh wow, it's the real DaBaby.
Let's go!
So why do you want me to be featured in your new song?
What?
Like out of everyone, why me?
'Cause DaBaby saw your fire distracts.
So what do I have to do to be in your song?
Nigga, I already told you. I mean, just send your credit card. To me, your favorite artist, DaBaby.
Let's go!
But what if I don't wanna be in DaBaby's song?
Nigga, I said,
let's go!
Now run them fucking card digits.
Well, how do I know you're the real DaBaby?
I don't have times for scams. I'm the real DaBaby. Trust me.
Well, can you send me an unreleased song or something?
DaBaby can't send anything right now. DaBaby mic is broken.
Then I'm not gonna send you my credit card, DaBaby.
Fine, nigga.
Yo, it's the baby. Let's go. Haha, I got so much money. My nigga. Give me the fucking credit card, bro. I already did what you want.
Wow, I can't believe it's the real DaBaby.
Yep.
Let's go.
I'm such a big fan, DaBaby.
Yeah, whatever.
Can I have your autograph, DaBaby?
Send me your credit card, nigga.
Why do you want my credit card, Lord DaBaby?
So you can be featured on my song. You bitches, nigga.
So does that mean if I ask Ariana Grande for her credit card, she'll be featured on my song?
Oh my god, you're so fucking dumb. No, nigga.
Let's find out.
What?
Can I have your credit card, Ariana Grande?
No.
But DaBaby said you'll be featured on my song if you send me your credit card.
Nigga, no the fuck I didn't. And that's not Ariana Grande. You bitches, nigga.
It's not.
No, just send me your credit card, man.
I don't even want to be on your song anymore, DaBaby.
Why the fuck not?
Because you're mean.
Man, shut the fuck up. Just send me your credit card, bro.
What will I get in return?
I don't know. Unreleased music?
Unreleased DaBaby music.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I said,
let's go,
nigga.
Okay. Visa, MasterCard, or American Express.
The one with the most money. What the fuck is that?
Hooters gift card.
I said the card with the most money.
Yeah, that would be my Hooters card.
How horny are you, my nigga? How much do you have on your other cards?
All negative balance.
What?
I spent all my money on Hooters gift cards.
Nig.
Let's go.
No, not.
Let's go.
Where do you live?
I live in Mexico.
Mexico? What the fuck? Who the fuck lives in Mexico?
Mexico, officially the United Mexican States, is a country in the southern portion of North America. It is bordered to the north by the United States. Population of 127.6 million.
My nigga, I don't give a fuck about Mexican facts. If I did, I would be eating a taco right now. You bitches, nigga.
You asked about Mexico, so I wanted to educate you.
Educate me on your fucking address. On God, with my whole gang.
Yeah.
Why do you hate me, DaBaby? I just want to be your friend.
Yeah.
Let's start over.
Do you want to be my friend too, DaBaby?
Of course I do. You're my nigga.
Let's go.
I just need your credit card number.
I didn't know to be friends with someone you need their credit card number.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Where I come from, all my niggas share credit cards. We all trusted each other. Do you trust me?
I trust you, the baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Huh?
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, my nigga. Calm down.
Let's go.
My nigga, calm down. Jesus Christ. Send me your digits. What's this?
It's a link to my credit card.
Let's go.
It's not loading.
Hey, the baby.
What?
Why do you lie?
What do you mean? I can't lie, I'm the baby.
Let's go.
If you're the baby, then why do you live in Kansas?
What? The baby doesn't live in Kansas.
Then I guess you're not the baby.
You're not the baby.
No, I'm Bright Clips. You're not the baby.
I'm the baby, but I know you are.
Who am I?
A bitch-ass nigga. Give me your real digits right now.
The baby wouldn't live in a tiny-ass house like this.
Yo, that's not cool, bro. Chill, bro. We cool.
Why are you scamming children, Marco?
Yo, it's all good. We're chill. I'm done.
How many times have you done this?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just messing around. It's my first time I've ever done this. It's just a funny Instagram meme. No kid's gonna believe I'm actually the baby.
Young kids will.
If a kid believes I'm the baby, then they deserve it. Stupid ass nigga.
Well, someone I know hit me up saying you scammed him.
Who?
Let's go. Huh?
It's me, the baby. Send me your credit card information, and you'll be featured in my new song.
Yeah.
Here's a pic for proof.
I pull up.
Is that you, the baby?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. I pull up.
You probably just hit me up because I'm really lit, actually, right?
Yeah.
Send me your credit card, my nigga.
I've always dreamed of a black guy calling me that. Can I say the N-word?
I will beat you the fuck up. No cap.
Okay, sorry, bro.
If you send your credit card, I'll let you say it.
Okay, my N-word.
Let's go.
Wait a minute, can I say the N-word with a hard R? Like after I send it.
Nigga, calm down. How white are you?
This is me.
Let's go.
So can I say it?
Nah, nigga.
Dang it.
You're too white. You fucking mayonnaise monkey.
Frigida baby, you're probably an idiot.
Don't talk to me like that, nigga. I'm the real da baby. I could buy you.
Bro, I really want to rap on your song, bro.
Then send me the fucking digits, kid.
Fine, bro.
Nigga, what the fuck? Why are your fingernails painted? Gay-ass nigga.
It's not gay, bro, alright. It's actually really good for getting girls, alright, bro. You probably don't even date girls. You probably date boys.
The credit card number didn't work.
Well, I sent it. So can I say the N-word now?
Hell no.
Why you scam me? I'm saying it anyway.
No, you can't say it. The credit card didn't work.
I can say whatever I want, nigga.
Whoa, so you're racist.
No, I'm not. My dad is black, and plus you scammed me.
No, the fuck I didn't. You scammed me. You sent a fake credit card, then called me the N-word.
Yeah, I do what I want. My dad said I can say it, so I don't even need you. Plus I have a Burger King crown on. Let's go.
No, not
Let's go.
my nigga.
Let's go.
Meet up, so I can beat your ass. What's your addy?
I pull up.
You know what, Frigida baby? Your music sucks.
Yeah.
You scary-ass nigga.
Remember him.
Oh, this racist is bitch. He deserves it.
I told Bright Clips that you scammed me. Now you're in trouble.
Wait, how is Jay racist?
He called me a nigga.
You did.
I didn't.
Jay.
That's photoshopped. He probably just photoshopped that. He's a scammer, so he knows how actually.
I didn't Photoshop shit, nigga. You bitch-ass nigga.
Alright, listen. You're both in the wrong.
Whatever, I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, okay. Alright. I've been waiting for you all day.
Okay, alright.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Bright Clips
Sound
here.
like a
Today is
teacher.
the fourth episode of season 2.
alright.
Now, look, I don't like to call people stupid
Settle
or dumb,
down.
but this guy definitely wasn't the brightest kid. No pun intended. In fact, he's probably the dumbest kid that I've ever messaged on Discord, and so it was very entertaining to talk to him silly. Before we get into the video, I gotta plug a few things real quick. My Discord server is really close to 30,000 members, so if you want to join that, it's free. That's gonna be the first link in the description.
Settle
All my socials are in the
down.
description as well.
Settle
I'm most active on Twitter.
down.
Also,
Settle
memberships are now live on my
down.
channel, so if you want to support me through that, that's linked in the description. And yeah, enjoy the video.
Hey, Tommy.
Do you have any adult diapers?
Why?
I shit myself.
You. What?
Shot myself real hard, man. Dookie diaper. So do you have any new diaper for me?
No, typically I don't carry around adult diapers.
But what if you shit?
Hopefully I'll do it in a toilet.
But what if you miss?
Then it'll go on the floor.
Tommy is smart. Tommy invests in diaper. That's why shit don't fall.
Okay.
So do you have a diaper for me now?
No, I'm not buying one.
Fine, what about baby diaper?
Tommy, can we not talk about this?
Want to hear my story?
Your story?
So one time I saw a big bear. He told me he was gay. So I punched that bitch straight in the balls.
You assaulted an animal because he told you he was homosexual?
Sounds about right. He had it coming. He was gay.
Alright, well, is there any other stories you want to tell me about?
What do you mean, stories?
Well, you just told me your story about a homosexual bear. Do you have any others?
What the fuck are you on? Where you seeing homo bears at? Bears can't be homo.
But you just said, never mind.
Want to hear a story?
Sure.
One time I saw a gay bear.
Okay. I already heard that story.
But dude, I kicked his balls. Did you know that part?
Yeah.
Can you help me with something?
What do you need help with?
Who was the first president?
George Washington.
It's Abraham Lincoln.
You mean Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president.
No! It goes in alphabetical order. Abraham in first because A is the first letter. George is last.
Holy shit,
The
my
current
boots are
president
about to
is
get
Joe
grindstone.
Biden. So how is George Washington last?
George is the current president because it goes in alphabet letters. G comes before J, stupid.
Okay.
He was the first president.
I guess it's Abraham Lincoln.
Are you retarded?
What?
George Washington was the first president of the USA. And why did you spell Abraham Lincoln like that?
Why did you even ask me who the first president is if you already know?
I don't know.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go.
Wait,
What?
do you have any food?
Yeah?
I want McDonald's.
Okay, that's great.
Can you buy me McDonald's?
No,
Why not?
because I don't want to.
But I want you to.
Yeah, but I don't want to, so I'm not gonna buy it for you.
Yeah, but I want McDonald's.
Buy it yourself.
I don't have any money.
Get a job.
I got fired.
Why?
I shit my pants.
Okay, well, did they know you were special?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Like, did they know you were special needs?
I'm special.
Yes.
And I have special needs.
Yeah.
But my mom told me I'm fucking retarded.
She did?
Want to hear a story about my mom?
No, I don't want to hear any more stories.
I used to shit on the floor. She didn't like it. She smelled my face and shit.
Is this another story where I'm gonna believe you and then in 5 minutes you're gonna deny that you ever told this story?
What are you talking about? I never did that before.
Yeah, I figured.
Do you have any money?
No.
I want toys.
What toy do you want? Why do you want that?
So I can stick it up my butt?
Whoa.
So what you buying for me?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm not gonna buy you a kid's toy that you're just gonna pleasure yourself with.
Pleasure myself.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have any diapers? I need a really shit bad.
I'll tell you what. I'll buy you all the diapers in the world if you beat me in a 1v1.
All the diapers in the world?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Shut up.
What game?
Rocket League.
New Philadelphia Cheesecake Crumble. Cheesecake in a personal serving, because the last bite is not meant to be shared.
Only Invisalign treatment uses smart track technology, so I could create custom treatment plans for every smile. Yo, hello?
Hello?
What's going on, man?
Too much.
What do you mean?
I've been shit my pants too much.
What?
What team do I join?
So I guess just join Orange?
Where's that?
It says Orange, like it's gonna say Orange on it. Like an orange.
Where?
Yeah, well, it's not there yet. Oh my goodness. Did you just leave the game?
Yeah.
No, you just gotta click the button that says, like, play Orange.
What?
Alright, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do create private match. I'm gonna do create match. And now when it says it, you're gonna say play Orange. Alright, play on the Orange team. Alright? Okay.
Do I join blue?
No, you join Orange.
Orange. How do I boost? Oh, fuck. No.
Trash. You're doing terrible.
I didn't know how to work.
Yo, hold up. I got a question.
Yeah.
Are you trolling me right now?
No, I am not. You wanna kiss?
What?
You wanna kiss?
No, I don't want to kiss.
I wanna give you a kiss.
No, yo, chill. Yo, chill.
No!
Is there any reason why your voice sounds like that?
When I was 18, the Easter Bunny molested me.
So why would the Easter Bunny molesting you?
Because.
All right, I'm gonna like teach you how to like change your voice up a bit, so that you don't sound like as.
You're gonna change it a little.
No, like, it just sounds like a little deep. Like so, like I can probably shift it a bit so that you can like seem more approachable in front of like girls and like friends and whatnot.
All the ladies love me. What are you talking about?
All right, so pretty much what you're gonna do is you're just gonna like make your voice sound a little bit more like Mickey Mouse, like just a little bit squeakier. Yeah, exactly. Now just make it sound like a little bit more like almost. I feel like almost feminine would work for you. Just kind of like shift it a bit towards that.
Oh, I see.
What the fuck?
So like this? Wait a minute. I think I like penis now.
What?
I like this. I like this a lot.
What?
Come here, little boy.
Yo!
I like you.
Yo!
Let me come from behind. Hang on. Yeah. This is what I like.
Yo!
This ball feels so nice.
What is, like, what, your whole personality changed with your voice?
No, I just like balls now. I like touching these balls.
Now, well, how'd you make Rocket League sus? Like, how'd you even do that?
Oh my god. You're touching my balls.
No, bro, like, can you stop with that? Like, I'm just trying to play.
No, boy, you're touching my balls. You're touching my balls.
Oh my god, yo, stop! Yo, boys, by the way, if you're wondering how Tommy read off the chat at the beginning of the video, well, here's how it went down. Yo, Tommy.
Yeah.
Can you read off, like, the entire Discord chat that we just had?
Why?
I don't know why not.
Okay, fine.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Bright Clips here. Today's the 3rd episode of Season 2. For today's episode, a guy hit me up asking me for money. And you know, look, a lot of people think that I'm not the nicest guy in the world. A lot of people think I'm mean. But if somebody asks me for money, sometimes I'll give them some cash, you know? If they need it, I'll give them some money. But this guy was acting really weird. Like, he was talking about how he was homeless and he really needed money. But before he messaged me, a guy named Twinks messaged me. And he pretty much just told me that his friend was like a con artist and he was trying to scam me. So I confronted him about it, and yeah, it got interesting. But before the video starts, I gotta plug the Discord server once again. If you want to join that, that's gonna be the first link in the description. The chat is always active. There's always people in the VCs. And yeah, everyone there is pretty chill. All my socials are in the description as well. I'm most active on Twitter though, so if you want to talk to me, the best way is probably Twitter. Also, thank you guys so much for 300,000 subscribers. That's an insane milestone, and I really appreciate it. I got a lot of plans and goals for this year, so if you want to support me, then subscribe, and yeah, 400k soon, I guess. Enjoy the video.
Hey man.
What?
Listen, I've been really struggling with money. I was wondering if you can buy me a new phone.
You want me to buy you a phone?
Yes, please. I recently went homeless.
You recently went homeless, so you're asking for an iPhone?
Or maybe an Xbox or something. But yeah, an iPhone, please. I know you're a super rich man.
I can buy you food or something.
That's worthless. Bro, what am I gonna do with food? I already have food.
What are you typing on right now?
The iPhone 11. It's so old and janky.
Bro, I don't even have the iPhone 11.
Listen, bro, my dad is lame and he doesn't even buy the newest stuff when it comes out.
You're not even homeless?
I'm gonna be if I keep having to live with my bitch-ass dad.
I'm not buying you an iPhone.
God, you're so lame. You're just like my uncle. Like he f***ed me over and don't even buy me anything after.
Your uncle fucks you over?
No, not literally. It's a figure of speech.
No, I think your uncle fucks you.
Shut up. No, he doesn't. If anything, I f*** my uncle.
Wait. You f*** your uncle?
Stop trolling me. I need money to buy the new iPhone. Either you help me, or you'll be canceled for neglecting the poor.
You're gonna cancel me for not buying you an iPhone?
Exactly.
Special K knows only real strawberries taste this good. Kellogg's Special K. Do what's
I don't
delicious.
know about this band.
Grill
Oh my
without the
God,
guesswork.
getting
The Weber
49.
Genesis Smart Gas Grill. Discover what's possible. Dude, just get a
Just
job.
to rename
That is
my
way
house.
too much work.
What?
Who the hell has time for that? Literally, all you do is sit.
What? On what? Oh, I need to refund a couple things. $1,000? I didn't try to. What? Did I accidentally purchase something? I'll show you. Maybe I ordered something multiple times. Maybe I ordered something multiple times. Let me check. Let me check. Just wait a second. Let me see.